have a freaking mosquito bite in my back, and it's just so bad.
That is the worst. Okay, so what is this? What does this mean, the arc?
They all equal 140.
The whole angle is 140 degrees. Bisects means cut in half. So if the whole angle is 140, then how big is this half? Divided 140 divided by 2. 70. And if that half is 70, then the other half is 70. Okay, the only reason we knew that is because it was bisected. The angle was bisected. It was cut in half. So we want the measured angle RST, which is 70 degrees. And we want the measured angle TSU, which is 70 degrees. Make sure you guys read that and check what they're asking for. You don't want to just assume that they're asking for both halves. Okay, again, here, this half is 60, so how big is the other half? 60, yeah. So they're asking for the measure of angle RST, which is 60 degrees. Then they want the measure of angle RSU. So 60 plus 60 means the whole angle is 120 degrees. The ones on your test are going to have variables. They're not just going to be numbers like this. So I think I added some at the end of your packet, which we'll get to. Oh, here's some variables. Here we go. Bisects. Again, we see this word bisects. So we know that these angles are cut in half. We know that this half is congruent to this half. We know this half is congruent to this half. And this half is congruent to this half. Because that's what bisects means. If they're congruent, what does that mean algebraically?
They equal each other.
They equal each other. Yep. Does it matter which one I say equal, which one I put first? No, because that's the symmetric property. It doesn't matter. 11x equals 44. Divide both sides by 11, and x equals 4. Alright, same thing here. This half, 3y plus 6, equals the other half, 24. Or you could have said 24 equals 3y plus 6. It doesn't matter. So my first step, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides of the equations. And we get 3y equals 18. Then we're going to divide both sides by 3. And we get y equals 6. And the last one. 2r minus 11 equals 7r minus 61. What side do we want to put our variables on? It doesn't matter. I'm going to put them on the right side because I like to keep my variable terms positive. So I have negative 11 equals 5r minus 61. And then we're going to add 61 to both sides. So 61 minus 11 is 50. 50 equals 5r. Divide both sides by 5. And we get 10 equals r. But then they want me to plug that back in to find the measure of angle ABB. ABB. So 2 times 10 minus 11. 20 minus 11 means that that's 9. Now, is the measure of that angle actually probably 9 degrees? No. Sometimes the numbers don't make sense, especially when I make up the problems. Sometimes it's like, it's not really a 90-degree angle. But that's what we get. All right, complementary. How many degrees do complementary angles add up to? 90. Good. You can turn the C into a 9. How about supplementary?
180.
Yep, you can turn the S into an 8. 180. And neither would be if they don't add up to 90 or 180. Adjacent means they share a common vertex and a common side. All right, so this first one, when you add 135 plus 45, you get 180, which makes them supplementary. Are these angles adjacent? Are they right next to each other? No. So these are non-adjacent angles. They don't share a common vertex, they don't share a common side, they don't share anything. 60 plus 30, that's 90, which makes them complementary. Again, you can turn the C into a 9. Are these angles adjacent? Yeah, they share a common vertex and a common side. So good, they're right next to each other. Jason. Questions? Am I going too fast? Okay, yeah.
You're looking for governor.
Mm-hmm. All right, complement and supplement. Remember, if I complement you, I'm always right. Okay? Complement means add up to 90. So 90 minus 88 is 2. Okay? Supplement. 180 minus 88 is 92. What is the complement and supplement? What's the difference between 90 degrees and 180 degrees? What's the difference between 90 and 180? What's 180 minus 90?
They're half of it.
90, right? Complement adds up to 90, supplement adds up to 180. So therefore, what should be the difference between your complement and supplement? What's the difference between 2 and 92?
2.
No. No. What's 92 minus 2? 90. Do you guys see the difference between them is 90? Right? 92 minus 2 is 90. The difference is 90 because if a complement is 90 and a supplement adds up to 180, their difference is 90. So your difference between your supplement and your complement is always going to be 90. Okay? So here, 90 minus 36 is 54 degrees. And then really all we have to do is add 90 to get 144. Let's check. If we do 180 minus 36, we get 54 degrees. Or no, sorry, we get, whoa, no. Sorry, 180 minus 36 is 144. So yep, we're good. So I just want you guys to notice that because that's a really good way to check to make sure you did it correctly. Okay, so complements add up to 90, supplements add up to 180. So angle PQS and angle SQR are complementary. Complementary means what? Yes. Are they individually 90 apiece? Nope. They add up to 90 degrees. Okay, that's important. They're not each 90, right? We only have one 90-degree angle here. But they add up to 90. So that's important to know they add up to 90. So 2x plus x equals 90. We have 2 plus 1, so we have 3 x's equals 90. Divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 30. How did we know these weren't equal? Why didn't we just say 2x equals x? Well, can 2x and 1x ever be the same? If you take 2 and multiply by x, and then you take 1 and multiply by x, can you ever get the same answer? No. So first of all, they're not equal. Second of all, there's nothing that says they're equal. And third of all, they tell us it's complementary. So we know they add up to 90. So now measure angle PQS, yeah. So we're going to plug in 30 for x, and 2 times 30 is 60 degrees. Which means the other angle has to be 30, which makes sense. So angle SQR is 30 degrees. So does 60 plus 30 equal 90? Are they actually complementary? Yeah, so that's good. So that's a good way to check. All right, find the value of x and find the measure of the two angle measures. So we're going to plug it back in when we're done. So first of all, do I see the word bisects anywhere? No. Nope. Do I have anything showing me that they're equal? No. Okay, that's what happened. If you guys got these problems wrong on the quiz, that's mostly what went wrong. You guys set these equal, but there's absolutely nothing telling you that they're equal. There's no signs. There's no tick marks. I don't see the word bisects. So what I do know, what does this mean? A little box.
90 degrees.
Yeah, it means they add up to 90. Are they 90 apiece individually?
You gotta add them both
No.
together.
Yeah, you gotta add them together. Good. So 6x plus 1 plus 6x plus 5 equals 90. And then from here, it's just algebra, which is why we've been practicing our algebra skills. We have 6x plus 6 more x's, that's 12 x's. Then we have 1 plus 5 is 6, equals 90. Then we're going to subtract the 6 from both sides, and we get 12x equals 84. And then 84 divided by 12 is 7. So now we want to find the measure of angle ACF. So we're going to plug 7 in for x. So 6 times 7 plus 1. 6 times 7 is 42, and 42 plus 1 is 43 degrees. And then we want to find the measure of angle PCF. So we're going to plug 7 in for x here. So we get 6 times 7 is 42. 42 plus 5 is 47 degrees. Now, we said that these angles add up to 90, so let's actually add them. 43 plus 47, does that add up to 90?
Yeah.
That's a good way to check. Okay, that's very good. So that's if they don't add up to 90, you didn't do it right then. So you always want to check your answers. All right. Again, they're not equal. We don't see the word bisected. They're not vertical angles here, but they do make a straight line. So how many degrees do these add up to?
180.
Yeah, 180, right? They're supplementary. They're called the linear pair. So x plus 28 plus 3x equals 180. So we have 1x plus 3x is 4x's plus 28 equals 180. Can you guys see? Okay, let me know if you can't. Are you good? Okay, if you can't see it, can you see? Okay, let me know if you can't see it. It's pointer back. All right, subtract the 28 from both sides, and we get 4x equals 152. Divided by 4 is 38. 38. Good. And now we have to plug them back in. So we want the measure of angle CMT. So that's 3 times 38, which is 114.
Yeah.
14. Yeah. And then we want the measure of angle YMT. So 38 plus 28 is 66. Okay, let's check. 114 plus 66, is that 180? Yeah. Yep, so that's good. That confirms that we did it correctly. Questions on these? All right. Find the value of the angle described. Let's fill in all the missing parts first. We're going to use vertical angles and linear pairs, but we're going to start with vertical angles. So what I like to do is draw the X. So let's look at this 43-degree angle. Trace the two sides that make up the angle. So that means these two are vertical angles, which means this one's also 43. Remember, vertical angles are congruent. So then I'm going to trace the two sides that make up the 58-degree angle. So these two angles are congruent. So this one's 58 degrees. And I don't know either of these angles, angle JHP or angle LHM. But how do I find them?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Don't you add 58 and 43,
We will.
and then you just subtract 180?
Yep, exactly, because these three angles add up to 180 degrees. So let's do 180 minus 58 minus 43.
7.5.
Did you do that in your head?
I've been done.
Oh, you're done. Okay, nice. Okay, so yeah, this angle is 79 degrees, which means that this angle is also 79 degrees because they are vertical angles. So now we can go back and answer the measures of the angles that they're looking for. So the measure of angle KHJ is 58 degrees. LHM is 79 degrees. NHP is 43 degrees. And JHP is 79 degrees. Any questions on that one? So again, we use vertical angles and then we use a linear pair. So you guys have something like that in that homework assignment. All right, here comes the writing part. Sorry. All right, rewrite the statement in if-then form. All moldy apples will make you sick. So remember when you see the word all, we're not going to write all in our if-then statement. You're going to think of one. So all moldy apples, no, we're going to think of one moldy apple. So all moldy apples will make you sick. So what do you guys think? If what?
If you eat a moldy apple.
Then what? Then Maya what? Yeah. It doesn't matter. So if you eat a moldy apple, then it will make you sick, or you will get sick, or however you want to say that. So remember when you see the word all, don't write all in your statement. It's just saying, then that means if you eat a moldy apple, you're going to get sick, because all moldy apples make you sick, not just some of them. Do apples ever really even get moldy?
Yeah.
They do? I always eat them before they do. I never let them sit long enough. But peaches go bad really fast. No, not bad. Peaches are so good right now. They're in season, so they're amazing. I'm on a peach kick right now. All right. If a student walks into
Class after the bell.
then he or she is tardy. Nice. Okay. So the hypothesis is what comes after the if. Do we include the if in the hypothesis?
No.
No. It's whatever comes after it. So just a student walks into class after the bell. Again, do not include the if. It's just whatever comes after that. And then the conclusion comes after the then. The conclusion is he or she is tardy. So we don't include the then. All right. If you go scuba diving, then you will need a full air tank. So again, hypothesis is after the if. You go scuba diving. Has anyone in here been scuba diving?
That's like my
Lucky.
biggest fear.
Anyone? Luke, did you raise your hand? Oh, you're lucky. So lucky. I have gone snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef, but a lot of my friends went scuba diving. I was too nervous. Not nervous, I think I kind of regret not doing it, but there's a lot of things you have to do, right, to equalize your, the pressure, right, equalize your pressure. It just sounded really complicated, and they did a lesson in like 10 or 15 minutes, and I was like, I don't feel like I know enough to, to do this. But it sounds fun. So yeah, conclusion is you will need a full air tank. They have a place, don't they do, what's that place off of, what's that lake called? The place off of the man-made lake that's up in like South West. No. No, it's just off of 251. Yes. Yes. Don't they do scuba diving lessons there?
Wait, where? Oh, Pro Lake. Yeah, they do.
They do?
They like sunk stuff. There's like buses down there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun. Do you guys go to Pearl Lake in the summer? Is that a
They
spot?
closed it down for the public. Only if you have a campsite there.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of sad.
And it smells there now.
Oh, so it's not really though.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well that's good to know. Alright, if a person is from Germany, then he or she is European. So, law of detachment or law of syllogism. Law of detachment gives you one if-then statement and tells you the hypothesis is true. So this is one if-then statement, and I'm telling you, if a person is from Germany, I'm saying Hans is from Germany. I've met a German named Hans before. Okay? Hans is from Germany. So The conclusion, so this is law of detachment, first of all, because we have one if-then statement, and I'm telling you the hypothesis is true. So I tell you hypothesis is true, you can conclude that the conclusion's true. So he or she is European, but who are we talking about specifically? Hans. Yeah, so we'll say Hans is European. Don't say him or
What
he
is
is
it-
European, because I'll
What
be
if
like, who?
Hans is from Germany?
So yeah, so if a person is from Germany and I'm saying Hans is from Germany, so we can conclude that Hans is European. Yep. So law of detachment, they give you a true hypothesis, so we say a true conclusion. Yeah. Mhm. All right, if two angles form a linear pair, right, we studied this, then the two angles are supplementary. That's true. Then we also learned that if two angles are supplementary, then the sum of their measures is 180. So that's why we know that linear pairs have a sum of 180. So this is law of syllogism. We had two if-then statements. Okay. Law of syllogism, you start with two if-then statements. And your conclusion, this is important, your conclusion is an if-then statement. It's not just the sum of their measures is 180. You need to get rid of the middleman. And your conclusion for law of syllogism is the if-then statement. If two angles form a linear pair, then the sum of their measures is 180. All right, last one, we have an if-then statement. If the measure of an angle is between 90 degrees and 180 degrees, then the angle is obtuse. So I'm telling you the hypothesis is true. Angle C has a measure of 167. So what can you conclude about angle C?
Obtuse.
Yeah, angle C is obtuse. And because we started with one if-then statement, and I told you the hypothesis is true, then that is law of detachment. All right. Match each property with the statement it illustrates. If CD equals EF, then EF equals CD.
Symmetric.
Symmetric, yeah. Symmetric means it doesn't matter what order, doesn't matter what side of the equal sign you put it on. They're still equal. Right, so that's symmetry, symmetric property. So here, we're multiplying both sides by 2. So if you multiply both sides, that's the multiplication property. How did we go from x plus 9 equals 12 to x equals 3? We subtracted 9 from both sides, and we got x equals 3. So that's a subtraction property. And then, if angle D is congruent to, angle A is congruent to angle D, and angle D is congruent to angle Z, then angle A is congruent to angle Z. So you can see the middleman here, and this said angle A is congruent to angle Z. So that's transitive property. Transitive is just like law of syllogism when you get rid of the middleman. Voltron's the same height as Voltron. That's like you look in the mirror and you see the same thing back. Right? 5x equals 5x. That's called the reflexive property. It's not the reflection property. Reflexive property. And then here, they added 30 to both sides of the equation. So that would be the addition property. All right, last couple of questions I added on because I wanted us to get some more algebra practice with the variables. And then also, I think these were the most missed questions on the test. So I think similar ones, at least. So I added them on here to make sure we cover them. Find the value of x. Is there anything telling me that these two angles are equal? No. So don't set them equal. We don't have a reason to. But we do know they add up to what?
90.
Exactly. So 58 plus 7x plus 4 equals 90. Okay? From here, all it is solving an equation. So, combined like terms. 58 plus 4 is 62 plus 7x equals 90. I'm going to move my constants to the right side. Okay, if you do it to one side of the equation, you can't do it to the other side. You have to, or sorry, you can't do it to the same side. You have to do it to the other side. So minus 62, 28, thank you. So 7x equals 28. Divide both sides by 7.
4.
Yeah, maybe x equals 4. Right. Now, a good way to check your answer if you guys have extra time on the test, plug in 4 for x. We get 28 plus 4, which is 32. 58 plus 32, do those add up to 90? Yeah, so that's good news. That means my x value is correct. Again, they might look equal. They kind of do look equal. But there's nothing telling me that they are. So I can't say them equal. If this is 90, how big is this half?
90.
Yeah, because 90 plus 90 makes a straight line. That's 180. So now we know 2x plus 46 adds up to 90.
Okay, I did something different.
What did you do?
I did 2x plus 46 plus 90 equals 180.
Perfect. Yep, that works too. Yep. This is just one step shorter, but yes, you also can do that. That's a good idea. Okay, so minus 46, that's 44. Divided by 2. X equals 22. So yeah, this angle ends up being 2 times 22, which is 44, and 44 plus 46 is 90. So they were almost equal, but they're not quite equal. All right, again, 1, these don't even look equal, and 2, there's nothing telling us they are, but they make a straight line, and how many degrees are in a straight line?
180.
Yep, so they add up to 180. 3x plus 5 plus 133 equals 180. Okay, 5 plus 133 is 138. So 3x plus 138 equals 180. Subtract 138. That's 3x equals 42. And x equals 14. So again, you really just have to know, do they add up to 90? Do they add up to 180? Are they complementary? Are they supplementary? Are they vertical angles? Is it being bisected? All right, you just make sure you read the directions. So again, we have a straight line. So how many degrees are in a straight line? 180. Yep. So 72 plus 10x plus 8 equals 180. Then from here, it's just algebra. A lot of algebra skills. So 72 plus 8 is 80. Move your constants over to the right side, so subtract 80 from both sides. So you get 10x equals 100. Divide both sides by 10. And x equals 10. Wait, I got one more for you. Alright. You can add this in or you can just look if you want. What type of angles are these? Vertical. Yep, they're called vertical angles. And what do you know about the measure of vertical angles? They're congruent. Yep. So if they're congruent, we set them equal. Okay. Then we solve. We subtract x from both sides of the equation. And then I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. And we get x equals 2. Okay, so vertical angles are congruent.